Welcome back. Well, you may notice that something is missing. Yeah, I have an ongoing issue with the neck pickup mainly because I didn't read a listing right and I ordered the wrong thing. So I'm talking with the seller now about swapping it for the right thing. But for now, I want to get some of this other wiring done, the connecting up the controls and all of that business. And so I figure we may as well get started on that. Now, according to this, my first connection is going to be from this first lug here to the volume control. And so may as well go ahead and do that first. I'm going to use, this is the wire that I bought, if you can see it. It's a 5-pack of different colors, and they spool inside so I can pull out the lengths that I need. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and go with the darker colors inside this thing just so they don't distract from the paint job too much. Because I'm very proud of the paint job my wife put on this guitar. So, I'm going to do the hard end first, which is going to be the volume control. And so, here we go. Let's get this heated up. Eventually. And there we go. Wire is in. Alright, let's put a little fresh stuff on there. What's there is kind of old and gimpy, sort of like me. So, pull that over there. And we keep twisting this stuff because stranded wire is both a blessing and a curse. It is a lot easier to work with in terms of bending. When you're poking it through a tiny space like this, not so much. However, he will eventually succeed. And then a little bit of solder to hold it in place. That's a nice connection there. Okay. Next, I need a hot wire to go out to the jack. That's going to come from the center of the volume control, and so what color should I use for that? You know, I think I'm going to go with green. Let's see how much I need here. From there, and then, yeah, I'm going to give it a little bit of extra just in case. I can always trim it down, but adding wire back, I haven't had that work too many times. So, yeah, this guitar, I have to tell you, is a labor of love. If I were to try to sell it, I think the average player would probably just kind of chuckle and walk away. But as I've said before, I like seeing what I can do with basically nothing. And with this guitar, I definitely made it into something, and I have thoroughly enjoyed playing it. Yeah. And in fact, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be upgrading it right now. So, but it is Pretty much from the day I finished it, it was one of my favorites. Okay, so that will go wandering out that way. Next, I need to mount the tone control. Okay, let me try that again. I need to put the capacitor onto one of the tone controls. And I have a feeling the best way to do that is going to be to take the control off. So, let's do that real quick. I'll go ahead and put it on this one just because that's what the diagram shows. The big question with these things is, where do I ground it? Where do I attach a ground wire that is going to actually do the job? What I may end up doing is running a separate wire. Actually, you know what I can do? Well, let's see. Okay, got it sorted out here. Basically, here's the plan. I put the capacitor like that. I figure these controls have these little nubs that aren't doing anything. I may as well use them as solder lugs. Next, I need to attach a small wire from here to the lug on the other one, so they're both grounded. And then we'll see about connecting up the rest of what they need to do to talk to the rest of the guitar. So, first, I'm going to do both of these out of the pick guard because I don't need to burn the plastic. So, first one, we'll put that aside and make a little loop there. To fit on that lug nice and snug like that. Oh well, I thought maybe I could bend the wire and make it stand up for me, but it's not going to do it. So we will slip this on there. Try to get it nice and snug so it stays in place. And then we make with the hot. So, yeah, my soldering skills are one thing I have really tried to keep up over the years, even when I wasn't actively doing stuff like this or anything else electronic, just because it's a thing that comes in handy in many, many contexts. So I like to stay up with it. I haven't always succeeded, and there's been times when I've had to do a lot of practicing and catch up. But overall, I've done pretty good. And so now I need to take this other control out, and we will attach that wire to it. And these guys will be almost ready to go back in. There is one more wire that needs to go between them. So, but I want to get the worst of it out of the way first. So I have them setting like that. The diagram says to put them like that, but I don't have the room to do that. So, once again, we'll make our little lug catching hook. Snug it down good. And then we will make it solid. I mentioned before how much I like this little soldering iron. It is a tiny powerhouse. It really is. Again, not a sponsor. I don't have sponsors, sad to say. But it's just a tool that I have really come to depend on when I'm doing this. So, next, I need to go from the capacitor lug of this one to the center of that one. So, let's go blue for that. Just because I can. Okay. So, about that much. So, dig my precise measurements, huh? But you know what? There's a lot of room to play with on these things. And not just that, but there are some of those things that I really need to take into consideration because of space limitations. For example, when I get ready to actually hook up the pickup wires, I need to be careful because both the middle and the neck pickups have to go underneath the bridge pickup because of the way the cavity is cut. That went in there way farther than I wanted it to. And I can't seem to get it to let go. Alright, let's get belligerent about it. That is another thing I'm quite good at. Really, you? Alrighty. Remember what I said last time about showing my foibles and stuff? Here you go. Alright. Let's try that again. See if the wire will cooperate this time. I think I'll go ahead and use the other end with some fresh metal. Now I can see that opening, and I can kind of spin this into it like that. Alright. Okay, it ain't as pretty as it could be, but you know what? It'll be functional. And that's what I need. So, it may also be too short, but we'll find out when I go to mount these things again. So, I'm trying to do a little bit of color coding. The problem with that is I haven't fully cemented it in my own mind yet. So I should probably do that, but apparently I'm not that smart because here I go. So, alright, into the middle one, like that. I said, no, that doesn't mean come right back out. That means stay there. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now stand up and fight like a man. There we go. Alright. Yeah. The actual soldering, this right here, this is the easy part. getting everything where it needs to go and making it stay there, that's the hard part. Okay, our controls are connected. Now, what's going to happen here, one wire from one of the pickups off the switch is going to come down to this, and the other one is going to come down to this. So, we will do that next, but it needs to be in the instrument so I can see where things need to go and how much wire I need. Alright, turn that away. And here we go. Let's put these guys back in. Yeah, you know, there aren't too many places you can get a capacitor anymore. I had to order some online. And so that I know Radio Shack is a bit of an American joke, but they were the place I could count on to have the components I needed. And I do kind of miss that. Now, granted, that sort of thing, you know, one 25-cent capacitor at a time isn't enough to keep the doors open, obviously, but it would be nice if I could find some kind of shop that carried components like that to fill its place. Picking these things up is often an adventure on a flat, smooth surface. Alrighty, get on there. Thank you, that's one. Here's the other one. Yeah, so and there we go. All right, those are wired up. Next, I need to attach the wires from the switch to the various controls. Already did this one, now we need to do the rest of them. Again, I'm working from this diagram here that I got from the web page of the people who made the switch. It shows a whole different configuration for the pickups, but that's not important right now. I can take care of the pickups later because they have their own whole little thing that they're doing. And you know something? I put that on the wrong one. I sure did. I put this on the wrong one. It needs to go on the fourth one because these first three are each for a pickup. Duh. Okay, I feel brilliant now. So, you know, well, many of you know my basic philosophy. Why do it right when you can do it again? So, let's do it again. So, I'm not going to cut it, I'm just going to bend it. And now we poke it into the fourth lug, because apparently some nincompoop has trouble counting past one. Certain people thought he was joking. Turns out it's true. Alrighty. Remember how I said this stranded wire is a two-edged blessing? Yeah, here's the other edge of it. Once it's been used, it kind of, what's the expression? Turns to crap. But the user need not leave it that way. So, there we go. We'll let that cool for a moment. Checking, making sure nothing's touching down there. And we're looking good. All right. Well, next we hook up one of the pickups to this tone control, which means okay. All right. I don't know if you can see, but these two lugs are joined together. There's a blade between them. And so next we go from number 6 here to the tone control. So we will do that next. What colored wire do I want to use? I think I'll stick with the blue just because it's fairly unobtrusive. So if I'm going from there to there, I need about that much. So again, my precise measurements. Yeah, I went to school to learn how to do that. Let's see. The nice thing is, that's as precise as you need to get with most of this stuff. So, this thing here, wire stripper, that, I believe, yeah, it is a Radio Shack. I have had that thing probably since the 1970s. At the time, they called it a stripper clip. And it is one of the handiest tools that I ever got. And the fact that it's lasted close to 50 years is kind of a testament to how it's made. So, it originally, let me get this in place and I'll show you something here. Originally, it had a little nut and bolt that went in there that you could use, and you could use it as a stop so you didn't cut too hard on a piece of wire. That probably disappeared within the first year that I had it, and I've been using it the other way ever since with great success. So one of the handiest tools that a gearhead like me will ever have, at least for my money. And I think somewhere in the early 1970s I probably paid maybe $6 for it. It was very inexpensive and it has been worth every penny. Alrighty. Wires in place. May as well go ahead and do this one first, just because it's there. Here we go. Alright, come on, fill her up. Fill her up. Thank you. Same thing up here. Come on, fill her up. Okay. Alright. We have good clean connections. They're good and solid. So take a guess whose camera battery ran out and he didn't know it. And so all of this stuff is hooked up, but it didn't get on camera. Yeah, if you guessed me, give yourself 2 points. So I am having a little issue with getting the neck pickup that I wanted, and so it's going to take a little bit to get it. So I had to decide, do I want to go ahead and hook up what I have, or do I want to wait and do it all at once? I finally decided on a middle ground, and I'm going to go ahead and hook up the middle pickup because it's 2 wires and very simple. So I already have the wire on the lug here. I just need to make it solid. Like that. And then I need to connect the ground, and I'm going to connect it right down here to that one. Now, you may notice that I did cut this wire. I did make it shorter. But I had to be careful how much I cut, because I can't just go from here to there. There's wood in the way. The cavity, everything goes under the bridge pickup and then comes over here. So I had to leave enough length to do that. Fortunately, I had plenty to work with. I measured it like 3 times before I finally made the cut. And looking at it, just eyeballing it here right now, I'm pretty pleased with what I got. So, get that to stay in contact there while the solder cools. And there we are. All right, the middle pickup is hooked up. Now, notice I have my nice rainbow duct tape here. I'll use that to stick that down there so that the wire goes the right place. And then from there, when I get the neck pickup, I'll route it down the same way. But that is a matter for another day. For now, this is as much as I can do until I get that other pickup. So we'll call it good for now. I will say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.